Hey everyone, I'm gonna go over why Frozen Orb and Arrow Platter are worth using. I had a few people ask me about those skills, so I kinda wanted to make a video on it. I will mention I did do this video before, but I'm just redoing it since I didn't really like how it turned out. But anyway, I feel like a lot of people are asking if these two skills are worth using because maybe they're not one-shotting with them. But the thing is that if you're on reboot, you're more than likely not gonna be one-shotting, like, ever. And that's because reboot enemies have like 5 times the health. But it doesn't really matter, like, if you're 2 to 4 shotting with these skills, and maybe like at worst 5, but 5 is kind of pushing it, um, it's already worth using because in combination with Cardinal Burst, these skills provide really good map clear. Like, there's a reason why Phantoms use these 3 skills in combination. I will mention though, like, this is mainly for people in at least Latch, or Arcana, because you can kind of get away without using Platter and Latch if you're training in Rev 3, because you just run Orb, Cross Surge, and Cardinal Burst. But it also kind of depends on your boost node levels too, so just keep that in mind. But anyway, what I mean is that, like, them clear map, like, the way they clear maps effectively is that they're just able to cover a lot of areas at once. When you compare that to Cannon Bazooka is only really able to cover the area in front of you. Like, that's kind of why I don't think Cannon Bazooka is really ever worth using past Latch. Like, you can get away with it in Arcana in one map, but it's still worse than like training and CLP. So yeah, like, there's a reason why I don't like Cannon Bazooka that much. Because Cannon Bazooka is only really able to clear the enemies in front of you. And that's kind of it. Even if you're like flash jumping and like hitting 2 platforms, the area of effectiveness is still only in front. In comparison to Frozen Orb and Arrow Platter in combination with Cardinal Burst, you're able to cover a lot more areas at once. Because Platter's able to be placed down one area that you don't ever have to worry about. Orb is also able to be thrown out a different direction. And Cardinal Burst can cover everything else. But Orb also has a big enough hitbox where it can just like hit like 2 rows of enemies, and all the hits proccing Carte Nor can also possibly hit like maybe a 3rd plat. So these skills are just really good. And I think a good example of this is Hoyong. Like, Hoyong's kind of a more extreme example, but Hoyong's kind of able to do the same thing in the sense of they're able to clear maps really well because of all the summons. Because they have skills like Vortex, Clone, Ghost, Butterfly, and then their 3 burst skills and Tiger, Clone Rampage, and Sage that they're able to cycle through. And that is able to clear maps really well. But they also have a regular attack and move in Iron Fangale where it just covers 2 platforms at once. And that in combination with everything just makes their map clear really good. Obviously it's an extreme example, but Phantom's kind of able to mimic the same thing to a lesser extent. So yeah, that's kind of why, like, I do think these skills are worth using. If you don't want to, you just want to like train the way you want to, that's completely fine. But just keep in mind that like these 2 skills do make training lazier in certain areas. Especially after ignition, once this is changed to a minute minute duration instead of 30 seconds, so it'll be less like annoying to keep up with the rotation for like 30 seconds. It'll be a little bit more lenient after ignition. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful for some people. But if you still have tips, questions or need tips, feel free to ask.